And all right, so hello everyone. We are live. Please let us know in the chat when you can see us and hear us. Again, we are live, so please just do let me know in the chat, or let us know in the chat rather, when you can see us and hear us. Now, the reason I actually ask this is because I had a really bad webinar experience once upon a time. Krista, I don't know if anything like this has ever happened to you when you've gone live, but it was one of my first ever times, and I thought I was really confident. I thought everything was going really, really well. And then I went back into the chat after like 10 minutes, and everyone is saying like, Cameron, you're sharing like the wrong screen. So now I always check at the beginning and make sure, and I always make sure that everyone can see and hear us. So I'm just refreshing my screen here because I'm actually not seeing it on my end. All right, this is why I'm doing it, because some folks are saying that they can't see the video. So give me 1 second.
I haven't had anything happen with video on any of mine, but I did have one of the very first calls for one of my programs. I had my microphone turned off for the first 3 minutes. So I was like, yeah, let me know if you can hear me. And then I just dove into everything. And then just like you, I went and looked and they're like, we can't hear you at all. There is no sound. I was like, that's because my microphone is turned off.
Yes, and okay, so we have it fixed. So please refresh your pages if you were seeing an error before. We were just double checking to make sure people could see and hear us, and boy, I'm glad I did, because there was an error and I see what was causing it, and now it has been fixed. So I'm just gonna make a note in the chat here. Please refresh your pages. Okay, fresh if seeing the error. Thank you all. And this is, by the way, how you know that this is live. Because sometimes people try to do like those fake live webinars, but no, not us. So in any case, some of you are already doing this, but once you can see and hear us, can you also let us know in the chat where in the world you're joining us from? Because Krista, one cool thing about your audience already is that you seem to have folks tuning in from all over. We've got people from LA, Chicago, Santiago, Chile, Queens, New Hampshire, Houston, Texas, Las Vegas, New York State, and more. So got folks tuning in from all over. So for me, I'm here in New York as well, and it's almost 3:03 p.m. So Krista, I want to make sure that we have plenty of time for you to dive in. So I'm going to turn it over to you, but before I do, I just have one quick thing to show everyone, which is actually pretty important for for making sure that you have the best experience possible. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen with everyone. And when you're watching this webinar, you're going to be looking at a screen that looks like this. You have the webinar over here, and then you have the chat over on the right. Now, if you're seeing anything be blurry or hard to read, just make sure to click the gear button and change the quality to 720p, the highest quality you can. And if you want to make things a little bit bigger, like if you're having trouble seeing it, just click the full screen button on the bottom right. That'll make it full screen. You'll just have to exit the full screen if you want to ask the question in the chat, however. Now, feel free to ask your questions in the chat during the webinar. I'll be keeping an eye on them. But one thing that I don't want you to ask, because I'm going to answer it right now, there will be a replay to the webinar. There will be a replay. So if you see someone in the chat saying like, is there going to be a replay? I need your help. We need your help. Could you just type in, yes, there will be a replay. Like, give me a hand here. That's the only question that I don't want you to ask. But with all that said, Krista, I think it's time for you to take it away. I can't wait to see what you have to share.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cameron. Hi, guys. Welcome. I will just, let me open up my slides and get sharing my screen here for you. And again, guys, just like Cameron said, any issues seeing my slides or anything like that, please let us know. Cameron's going to keep an eye on the chat for me and let me know if any
slides look good.
Slides look good. Awesome. Okay, guys. So welcome to today's workshop. We are talking all things email marketing. Specifically, I want to share with you 5 secrets to help you start, grow, and sell to your email list as a course creator. So what are we going to cover today? In this workshop, I'm going to show you how to grow an email list that is primed for profit. By the end of our time here together, you're going to have a simple system for attracting, nurturing, as well as selling to your subscribers. And I want you guys to stay with me until the end of today's workshop. It's going to be roughly 60 minutes long. If you stick it out to the end, I'm going to give you basically a free gift. And yes, I will be sharing my email marketing course with you at the end, but you do not have to join that course in order to get this gift. It's just completely free from me to you. It's called 50 Ways to Grow Your Email List Today. So it's a little downloadable PDF with 50 different strategies that you can put into action basically today to start getting your email list growing. So again, hang tight until the end. We'll probably do a little Q&A if we have time, and then I will share the direct link where you can go and grab this. So why are we talking about email marketing? Because if you want to create and sell successful online courses, you need to have an engaged audience of people who are actually ready to buy from you. And this is where having that email list and having that really strong email marketing strategy comes into play. So this is basically step one. If you want to create and sell courses, you need that email list. It's huge. So let us know in the chat. Like I said, Cameron's going to keep an eye on this for me. So I would love to hear from you guys what your email list is looking like right now, because I'm sure we'll have people at all different levels. You do not have to share numbers, by the way. So you don't have to tell us like how many subscribers you have, but do you have an email list already or not? How are you feeling about it? How are you feeling about email marketing? Let us know over in the chat. While you're doing that, I will do a brief little introduction. My name might be covered up here by my video, I'm not sure, but hi, for everyone who doesn't know me, my name is Krista Dickson. I am a course and launch strategist. I have created a dozen online courses in the last 4 years. I'm obsessed. I'm actually working on course number 13. It's coming out next month. And I have launched my courses roughly 25 to 30 times, and I love launching. On a personal note, I'm also currently 6 months pregnant. You might be able to tell in the photo on the left. I took this a few weeks ago. So I'll just preface this whole training by saying if I sound like a little bit breathless, for those of you who know me, I might sound a little more breathy than normal, or I might be drinking more water than normal. That's why I've been very short on breath the entire pregnancy. But yeah, I'm 6 months pregnant. I'm having my first little baby, a baby girl, in early December, although I think she's going to come early. And there's my website link at the bottom for those of you who haven't checked it out before, kristadickson.com.
Hey, Krista, we got the answers in the chat to that question you asked. Did you want me to read some of those out?
Yeah, I'd love to hear.
All right, so like you said, there's a big range. So we've got everyone from Claudia, who's already saying like, I've got hundreds of folks on mine. Dominic, Sarah, and others are saying 0, or I haven't even started, says Lindsay, and she ends with an ARG. So I think there's some frustration here from those who haven't started. And some folks have gotten started, like Jordan says, yes, but now I need to set up a nurture sequence. Anne says, I do, but probably not my target audience for the course I want to develop. And Kent says, great open rate, but minute list. So definitely folks who are in a variety of stages here.
Okay, that's perfect. Everything that Cameron just said, we're going to talk about today. So we're not only going to talk about starting your list, we're going to talk about making money with your list. We're going to talk about that nurture sequence. We're going to cover it all. So if you don't already have a notebook and a pen, I highly suggest grabbing one. Feel free to, take photos of any of my slides, screenshot them. There will be a replay, like Cameron said, so don't worry if you don't get everything down. But let me rewind. I'll tell you guys a little bit about me and my journey and what I've gone through with my own email list. So I started my business about 4.5 years ago now. And at the time, I had just quit my 9-to-5 job. I kind of jumped headfirst into entrepreneurship without a life raft. So I needed to start making money as quickly as I possibly could. So I was trying out all these different things to make sales in my business and get clients. I was blogging all the time. I think I was writing like 2 blog posts a week, which is honestly probably too many. I was, playing with Pinterest. I was doing all these different things and nothing was really working. I didn't make any money for the first 2 months in my business, probably 3 months in my business. And what I kept hearing over and over from all these experts was, you need an email list. You need an email list. You need a list. Grow your list. Focus on your list. The money's in the list, right? You guys might have heard that before. So I was like, okay, let's do this. I'm going to start my email list. But that's a little bit easier said than done. And I found that I started coming up against all these different roadblocks and all these different questions. So the first question was, what software am I actually supposed to use? There are so many tools out there. Which one should I use for my list? Once I figured that out, the next question was, how am I going to actually get people to sign up for my list, right? Can't send out newsletters if nobody's actually opening and reading them on the other end. Then I heard about this thing called the opt-in freebie, which we'll talk about today. And I was like, okay, got it. Made a freebie, but nobody was signing up. So I was like, what the heck? Why is nobody signing up? I think it was like a 1-page PDF about social media tools or something. And literally like no one signed up for it. Then I finally cracked the code on the freebie and people were joining my list. Things were looking good. But then my next question was, now what? Like, what am I supposed to do with these people that are now on my list? How often should I send them emails? What should I say in the emails? Am I supposed to sell something to them? I don't know. So lots of different questions, and you guys can let us know in the chat if you have come up against any of these in your own business as you're setting up your email list. So what I did is I really focused on my email marketing strategy, and I started launching online courses. I created my first course back in June 2016, and back then, if anyone remembers this, if you guys have been in business that long, Instagram stories weren't even really a thing, okay? I love to launch with Instagram stories now, and that's one of my favorite platforms in addition to email marketing, but they weren't really even a thing back then. I think they were just starting to roll out. So I launched exclusively to my email list, and I was able to make about $1,000 with my first course launch. A few months later, launched again, made about $3,000, and then a few months after that, launched a third time, and I had my first $10,000 or 5-figure course launch, which was so exciting. And this was all within my first year in business, all pretty much exclusively with email marketing. Now I have this amazing little email list that grows basically every single day on autopilot. This is just a little screenshot from my email list platform account. You can see this is like, I think, a 3-month span. It's just like a really nice, steady rate of growth, right? And that is what we want, and that's what I want for you guys as well. Now, everything I'm going to share with you today, we're going to get into so many like actionable step-by-step strategies. This is not only stuff that worked for me, this is stuff that has worked for many, many, many of my students and my clients. This is Sarah. She is a graduate from my email marketing program. It's called the Hot List. And when she joined, she messaged me and was like, I've been stuck at 19 subscribers on my email list for more than 2 years. I mean, raise your hand or say yes in the chat if you are feeling the same way as Sarah was feeling, if you've been stuck at a certain number for a long time. So she joined the Hot List. She grew to 235 subscribers in about 2 months. More than that, she was seeing an open rate of 60%, which is fantastic. I think industry average is maybe about 20%, so 3 times the industry average. And she messaged me to be like, oh my gosh, my offers are actually selling for the first time, right? I set up these funnels. I'm sending out the sales emails. They're actually working and people are actually buying. So I'm going to share so many awesome strategies with you guys today. And I want you just to think about how amazing it would feel if you were also able to get, say, 100 or 200 new subscribers on your list every month. And not only was your list growing, but you actually knew how to translate that growth into sales, right? Into revenue. Because we don't just want a big email list. We want a big email list of people who are excited and ready to buy from us. So let's dive into these 5 secrets. And when I call them secrets, that's kind of what they are. A lot of what I'm going to share with you today is kind of counterintuitive to what you might think you should be doing with your email list, and maybe even what other experts are telling you to do. So we're going to get into some juicy stuff. Secret number 1. This is for those of you who have yet to set up your email list. Secret number 1 is that stressing out over choosing your email list platform is slowing the roll on your business growth, okay? I do not want you guys to just sit on this decision. I want you taking action. But I get it. There's a lot of different platforms to choose from, right? There's ConvertKit, MailerLite, MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, Infusionsoft, Flowdesk. And this is just honestly a small snippet. There are many, many different tools you can use for your email list. And I know that it can be kind of overwhelming to decide. But what I want to introduce you guys to, and I'd love to hear in the chat if anyone has heard of these terms before, but I want to share a little psychological concept. And it's all about being a maximizer or being a satisficer, which is kind of a tongue twister. So I'm going to try not to stumble over that word. But these two terms were coined by a guy named Herbert A. Simon. I think he's a psychologist. Also, really great name. Love your name, Herbert. So what is the difference between a maximizer and a satisficer? This all comes back to how you make decisions, okay? So for the purposes of this discussion, let's use the example of deciding which email list tool you're actually going to use for your list. So there are two types of people, and basically they approach the decision-making process in different ways. So as I share the difference with you guys, I want to know in the chat which one you think that you are. So we have our satisficers, and this is just a combination of the word satisfy and the word suffice, okay? Satisficer. So there is a little article, this is from Psychologist Today. This is how they define what a satisficer is. When presented with a decision to make, so what email list tool am I going to use, a satisficer will consider what they want to gain or preserve from a situation, then evaluate their options to find the solution that meets their requirements. So for a satisficer who's trying to decide on an email list tool, they might sit down and make a list of all the key features that they want the tool to have. So let's say you want to be able to send out newsletters. You want to be able to put your subscribers into different groups. You want to tag them. You want to have the automation tool. So that's everything you need your email list platform to do for you. Once they're clear on that, they go out, they look at a few different options, they find one that meets that little list they made, and they're set. That's it. They sign up, they get started, they're taking action, and they're moving forward. On the other hand, we have the maximizers. The maximizers are people who really want the best. They want the best in everything. They want to make the best possible decisions, really. So a maximizer will refine their options to those that will fulfill their essential needs. So they're very similar to satisficers in that way. But then they subsequently pursue the option that will provide them with the maximum benefit or the highest utility. So like I said, they want the best, okay? They want to make sure that if they're spending money on something, they are getting not just the features that they might need, but all the features, okay? They want their platform to be able to do all the things for them. So for a maximizer, they might make a list of things they want in a platform, and then they might go out and look at like a dozen different email list platforms. They might request demos of different ones. They might do like a cost comparison analysis. They're taking a lot of time and they're really diving into, you know, all the different options on the table, and then they will choose the one that they feel is the best. Now, who do you think of those two, the satisficer or the maximizer, who do you think actually makes better decisions? Well, according to the same article from Psychologist Today, it's the satisficer. So we might think it would be the maximizer, right? Because they're doing all this research. But what they have found when they've done studies on this is that not only do maximizers take way, way, way longer to make decisions, they're less satisfied with their decisions at the end of the day because they're always chasing the best thing, right? And the best thing is constantly changing, by the way. So I do not want for you guys to be maximizers when it comes to choosing your email list platform or making any other decision in your business. Like I said, it's just going to slow the roll on your growth. So don't be a maximizer, be a satisficer. All you really need to think about if you have yet to start your email list because you're overwhelmed from all these different choices, all these different platforms, just ask yourself, what email list platform will meet my needs and get the job done? That's it. That's literally all you need to figure out, okay? So my first little action item for you guys today, my little challenge for those of you who said you have not started your email list yet, I want you to choose and then set up your email list platform today, okay? So it's like noon on the Pacific coast? Yeah, on the West Coast, if you're in North America, just after 3 o'clock on the East Coast. So you've got some time. So after today's workshop, go out and set up your email list platform, okay? And like I've written here on the slide, you can always change down the road, so don't get hung up here. If you start with one email list platform and you decide a couple months from now you don't really like it or you want to switch, you can. It's not a big deal. You're not locked in for life. That's actually what I did. I started with MailChimp, and then a few months later, I moved to a different platform. And speaking of, because I know people will ask this, I use ConvertKit. I'm not saying it's the number one or everyone needs to use it, but it's what works for me. Okay, so I've used ConvertKit for about 4 years. It meets all my needs. It does all the things I need it to do, and I'm very happy with it. It also integrates like seamlessly with Teachable, by the way. I'm assuming a lot of you guys use Teachable, so I really like that. I can sell my courses on Teachable very easily and sync everything up with my email list. Okay, moving on to our second email marketing secret. And again, this is one of those things that I feel like a lot of experts are telling you to do, but I disagree. So secret number 2, making a bunch of opt-in freebies is a waste of time. It is a waste of time. And you might be like, Krista, what are you talking about? Isn't that like the secret to growing your list? Let me explain. And just so we're all on the same page, I want to make sure I clarify all the terms I'm using so everyone knows what we're talking about. When I say opt-in freebie or just freebie, that is any kind of free downloadable resource that you give to people in exchange for them joining your email list. So it's basically just a direct exchange. You're like, hey, you give me your name and your email address and join my list, and I'll give you this free thing, free workbook, free checklist, whatever it is. On the left, this is just an example of one of my freebies. It's a launch checklist and works really well to grow my list. I'll show you guys a couple other examples just to get your wheels turning. These are all from my students who have taken the hot list. So this first one, this is so cool. This is called the CFO Starter Kit, CFO standing for Chief Financial Officer. So this is from Katie Scott. She is a finance and money coach for entrepreneurs. And this freebie, I mean, you can see like so much has gone into this. It is basically a collection of calculators, budgeting things, resources to help you better manage your finances in your business. Very, very cool. And then 2 more examples. Over on the left here is the Ultimate Pinterest Roadmap. This is from Amanda Montero of the Rising CEO. And then on the right, we have a DIY Instagram template pack. Totally love that. I use it myself. And that's from Casey Evans. She's a brand and Squarespace designer. And all of these freebies are growing these ladies' email lists every single day on autopilot. And that's what I want for you guys as well. But that is not always the case. So I want to introduce you to something that I call the failed freebie cycle. And again, let us know in the chat if this is something you have experienced, if you do already have your email list set up. I have definitely experienced this myself. So first, what generally happens, you can see up at the top here, is you make your freebie. You're like, yeah, I'm going to make this awesome workbook. Everyone's going to love it. I'm so excited. And then the next step over on the right, you start promoting your freebie. So you share it with people on social media, you post about it on your website or your blog, and you're super excited, right? But what often happens is you put this freebie out there and it doesn't get a lot of downloads. It doesn't get a lot of signups. There's not a lot of interest in it. And you're kind of bummed, right? You just spent all this time making this thing, but you're not going to give up. So you're like, okay, push up, like roll up my sleeves, get down to business, and I'm going to make another freebie. So you make another one and then you promote it, and then it doesn't get a lot of signups. And then you try again and you try again and you try again. And then before you know it, you've just spent like 50 hours, over the course of a few weeks or a few months, making all these freebies, and you have a dozen different opt-in freebies that aren't really doing that well, and they're kind of just gathering dust on your computer. And the result of that is that either A, your email list just isn't growing, right? Nobody's really signing up. Or B, maybe it is growing. Maybe some of those freebies are doing okay, but it's not growing with purpose. you're kind of attracting like freebie hunters, right? People who just want the freebie, but they're not actually interested in your industry and your area of expertise and what you have to offer. So what do we want to do here? How are we going to combat this failed freebie cycle? The solution is I want you to create just one really juicy freebie, and it needs to be aligned with your paid offer. Okay, so if you're selling some kind of course, or you want to sell a course in the near future, or it could be one-on-one, whatever it is that you're selling, we need to make sure that the freebie you're offering people is aligned with the topic of your paid offering, right? So if you look at the bottom of this slide here, this is essentially a very, very basic overview of a simple sales funnel. So what happens is somebody stumbles across you online, they download that opt-in freebie, and at this point, they're what we call a cold lead. So they don't really know you, right? This is like their first introduction to you. From there, we nurture those people, those new subscribers. We warm them up. We send them newsletters. We probably have a welcome series, or some people call it a nurture series, set up. So we're warming up those people, getting more familiar with them, building that relationship. And then at some point, we convert those people into buyers, right? Into customers. This is when they're hot leads, they're excited, and they're ready to buy. But what happens if, like, let's say you have an Instagram course. That's an easy example. So you're selling an Instagram course, but you don't actually have any opt-in freebies related to Instagram. Maybe you created like a branding related freebie, or I don't know, like a weight loss freebie or something, because you thought that would be really popular. So people are signing up for those freebies, they're joining your email list, but then when it's time to talk about Instagram and share your course with them, they're not interested, right? They're like, I don't really care about Instagram. I don't even use Instagram. I'm just here for the weight loss stuff, or I'm just here for the branding resources, right? And you don't make sales. And when that happens, again, you're growing your list without intention. You're growing your list without purpose. And all that you end up with is this massive like bill from your email list platform, because generally you're going to pay for the number of subscribers you have. So you have all these subscribers on your list, you have this massive bill from your email list platform, and nobody's actually buying what you're selling. That's not what we want. So we need to make sure that your freebie is aligned with your paid offering, and just create one really, really amazing, super juicy freebie. And there are lots of different formats this can take. Again, if you guys want to like screenshot this, please feel free. There's so many different types of freebies that you can make. Workbooks, checklists, cheat sheets, a masterclass. I'm not going to read them all out, but tons of different options. And it really just comes back to A, what you are most excited to create, and B, what your audience is most likely to consume and put into action, essentially, right? So what do they want, and what are you excited to create? And if you're curious, I just put a few little stars on the screen here. These are my favorites personally. These are the types of opt-in freebies that I have found to be the most enticing for my audience. Everyone's audience is different, so this might not work for your audience. Definitely get to know them and see what's right for them. But I really love creating workbooks, checklists, templates, and roadmaps. Those are my favorite. And the reason I like those types of freebies the best are that they are super actionable. They're easily digestible. So they're usually just a PDF that's not super, super long, and they're quick to implement. Meaning, like, let's say we do a checklist and it's maybe 2 pages long. People can take that and they can go and use that in their business or in their life and put it into action right away, right? And what happens if we give people something that they can put to use right away, they start getting those little like quick wins, we call them. And when people can get quick wins with your free content, they're super happy. Like, they're invested now. They're like, this person's awesome. And they're more likely to buy what you're selling in the future. So these are kind of the criteria I suggest you stick to when you're making a freebie. So make sure it's actionable, not just information, but actual action steps, okay? Easily digestible and quick for people to implement. So I want you guys again to take action. If you've got your notebook and your pen, you can write down some ideas. So maybe just think of one or two. If you want to write down more, that's fine. Different ideas for freebies that you could create that are aligned with the thing that you're selling. So that could be a course or just any kind of paid offering. And also, guys, if you don't have a course yet, that's okay too. Maybe you have an idea for a course you want to make. Awesome. Like, let's say it's a weight loss course. It's the first thing that jumps to mind. So what kind of weight loss related freebie can you create that's actionable, it's easily digestible, and quick for people to implement? Or, a little side note at the bottom, for those of you who already have maybe some freebies, write down how you can improve one of your existing freebies so that it meets these criteria. So it's really, really aligned with your paid offering. And again, it's actionable, easily digestible, quick to implement. Okay, moving on to email marketing secret number 3. You do not have to wait to start selling to your new email subscribers. And let me know if you've heard this advice before. You know, other experts might be telling you you need to wait 30 days after someone joins your list before you ever try and sell them something, or like 60 days or 90 days. Or they might tell you like, you need to send out, 12 or more value-packed emails before you ever talk about any of your paid courses or your offerings. I'm going to respectfully disagree, and here's why. I like to think of it this way. So people in your audience have a specific problem. I mean, they probably have more than one problem in their life or in their business, but they're coming to you because they have a specific problem. And again, it could be that they're overweight and they want to lose weight, or, they're unhealthy, or their social media is not growing, whatever it is that you help people with, right? So they have this problem and they come to you and they download that opt-in freebie to get help solving that specific problem. And I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, started your business because you enjoy helping people, right? You want to make money and have freedom, but you also enjoy helping people. So if you truly want to help those people solve that problem, doesn't it make sense for you to share other things and other resources and other offers with them that can help them even more with that problem, right? I think it does. It just makes logical sense. And you might have heard before what do they say? The transformation is in the transaction. So even though your opt-in freebie is going to be amazing, I have no doubt, you are not able to help people or to create as big of a transformation or as amazing of results for them in just a single PDF download as you can in your paid offer, right? A course, one-on-one, whatever you're currently selling. So let's talk about how to actually sell things to your new subscribers. I'm going to share my favorite strategy with you. This is most of my students' favorite strategy as well. It's fantastic. And without feeling weird or awkward about it, okay? So we don't need any of those like weird sales ickiness feelings here. This is going to be totally natural and also really, really easy to set up. So I want to introduce you guys to a concept called the tripwire product. Here's how this works. Right after somebody signs up for your opt-in freebie, that new subscriber is then presented with a limited time offer. So usually there's like a countdown timer to receive a discount on one of your courses or one of your products. So they sign up for this free resource from you. And then instead of taking them to kind of a general thank you page, you've probably seen these before, right? I'm sure all of us have signed up for freebies before. Instead of taking them to that page that's like, hey, thanks for signing up, check your inbox, you take them to this special tripwire page with this limited time offer. So I'm going to actually show you guys an example because I think that's the best way to demonstrate this. I'll see if I can get this to play. This is a video. So this is actually a tripwire page from one of my students, Alyssa, who's taken the hot list. No, it's not going to play. That's okay. You can see the top of the page here. So like I said, instead of taking people to a general thank you page, after they grab her freebie, she directs them immediately here. So you can see it says your freebie's on the way. Please check your email. But while you're here, why not get your hands on the Etsy Success Starter Kit? So this is her Tripwire product. You can also see up at the top, this is a countdown timer that starts at 15 minutes and then it counts down to 0. And it says you can save $60 when you purchase in the next 15 minutes, right? She's got a nice button here. If we were able to scroll down, we'd see some lovely mock-ups, and it kind of breaks down all the different things that are included in this starter kit. So like I said, it's time sensitive, right? It's a limited time offer, 15 minutes only, and there's a fantastic discount. So basically she's marked it down from $67 to $7. And what happens is you have to remember, people are landing on this page just after they sign up for that opt-in freebie. So they're already thinking about this topic, okay? So you give them a freebie related to Etsy, for example, and then immediately take them to this Tripwire page. So their brains are already thinking about Etsy. They're like, yeah, I really need help with Etsy. I'm struggling with it. They download the freebie. Then when you take them to this page, it's kind of like a no-brainer for them to just add this little $7, product to their cart and purchase it. So this is my absolute favorite way to sell to your new subscribers. And the cool thing is that you can set this up, and once you turn it on, you're just going to see the sales coming in without you having to lift a finger. It's completely like set it and forget it. You set it up once. Most of my students set it up literally within an hour or two, and then you just get to watch the sales come in, which is super, super fun. And you can create a Tripwire product for just about anything that you're selling, any kind of digital product, one of your courses. You can do this as kind of like a little bundle, I would call it. So a bundle of resources, anything like that. Oh, the video is going to play now. Okay, well, we'll let it scroll. You can kind of see what the rest of the page looks like. It'll scroll down in a second. There we go. So lovely little mock-up. I mean, she's obviously a great designer. This is like the cutest page. And then she lays out, there's these amazing 4 resources included in this little bundle, all on her course platform. And then I think just at the bottom, she has another timer and another button. And if you guys are curious what happens after the timer runs out, is this page actually redirects to another page. And that page can either be your general thank you page for your freebie, or you can make a page that's like, oops, you missed it. You missed this special offer, but your freebie's on the way type thing. So that's the Tripwire product. And like I said, this is most of my students' favorite strategy for selling because it's so set it and forget it. So this is actually Alyssa here. This is whose page we just looked at. So she took the hot list. She set up this Tripwire product in a single day. And I can still remember, this is a few months ago, she sent me an email and she's like, Krista, I've made 6 sales. My Tripwire has made 6 sales in the first like 14 hours. I was like, that's amazing. And then she checked in with me, I think about 3 weeks later, and she's like, I've already made over 50 sales with this Tripwire product. And again, totally set it and forget it, right? She set this up in a couple hours, turned it on, and that's it. She just sat back and she's made those 50 plus sales in less than a month. So super cool. Now I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about welcome series. I said that we would get into this a little bit today. Let us know in the chat. And then again, Cameron can just update me because I do want to hear from you guys. Do you have a welcome series? Do you have some kind of nurture series set up for people who just joined your email list for the first time? Let me know in the chat. You can just give us a yes or a no. Now, my biggest piece of advice here, because I know after working with so many entrepreneurs and course creators, is we often overwhelm ourselves to the point of procrastinating. Like, who's guilty of that, right? So we might think, oh, I need to write this like welcome series with 10 different emails, and I don't know what they should be about, and I don't know how far apart they should be. So we put it off, and then it never actually happens, right? We never actually write that welcome series, but it's so, so important that you have this series in place. So what I want to suggest to you guys is just to start small. You do not need like a 12 email series to get started. So what I'm going to suggest to you is just a little series of 3 emails that get sent to subscribers over about 1 week. That's it, okay? I'm sure you could write these emails in like a single afternoon and get this set up. So there's a little breakdown here. And again, if you want to screenshot this, feel free. So this is how you might want to basically set up this little 3 email series. So in the first email, I usually recommend you just talk about how you can help your new subscriber. And pro tip, even if you're talking about yourself, so even if you're introducing yourself, it's never really about you. When it comes to marketing, it's always about your audience. It's always about this new subscriber who just joined your list. So even if you're sharing like what you do, really kind of phrase it more so as, here's how I can help you. Like, here's what you're struggling with, and then here's how I can come in and help fix those things for you, right? So you get the results that you want. So share how you can help. And then in that very first email, I always love just to invite people to reply so that you can start that 2-way conversation with your new subscribers. But the key here is you never just want to say something general like, hit reply and say hi or tell me about yourself, right? Ask a very, very specific question because people will be much more likely to respond that way and you'll actually get those replies. So for me, I might say something like, have you ever created an online course before? How did that go? Or do you have your email list set up yet? Why or why not, right? For you, it could be like, let's say you're a keto diet coach. Does everyone know the keto diet? So your question might be like, have you tried the keto diet before? How did it go? Right? Very, very specific. So that's the first email. And then a few days later, they'll get email number 2. This one is all about sharing a quick tip or a quick strategy. Again, we're all about those quick wins, right? So think about some kind of strategy or some sort of content you can share with this new subscriber to help them take some kind of action today and get that quick win or that quick result. So like, let's say you're a keto diet coach again, maybe in this email you share like 5 staples that you should have in your pantry for the keto diet. And then they go out and they buy those things, right? And then they have them and they're ready to get started. So what quick tip can you share in this email to help people achieve some sort of little win or little result? And then a few days later, so maybe 3 or 4 days later, the final email gets sent out. And this is when you can honestly sell, if you want to call it that. I really just think of it as inviting people to take that next step on their journey with you, right? Because we talked about before, these people have a problem. They want help. That's why they downloaded your freebie and why they're reading your content and opening these emails. So what does that next step look like? Maybe it's joining one of your courses. Maybe it's booking a discovery call with you. Whatever it is, include that in this 3rd email and really just position it that way. Like, here's the next step. I know that you want to achieve this certain result. I know you're maybe struggling with these different things. I can help. This is what I do. And here's the next step, right? Here's what we do next. So that's it. 3 emails, 1 week, super small, super simple. But again, you can always add to this, right? This is not locked into place. It's not set in stone. You can start with these 3 emails. And if you want to add more to this welcome series as you go along, you totally can. So moving on, email marketing secret number 4, we're going to talk about growing your list. Secret number 4, you can grow your email list on autopilot every single day without having to spend money on ads, which I think is really important. And I'm not knocking, Facebook ads or Instagram ads. They're fantastic, really great way to grow your email list. But for a lot of us, we're not at that point yet where we want to pay to play, right? We want to do things free and organically if we can. So I want you to know and have confidence that you do not need to spend money on ads in order to see your email list grow. And I want to share with you guys 3 strategies today. So these are basically my top 3 ways to grow your email list every single day on autopilot, meaning set it and forget it, right? So you implement these strategies, hopefully today or this week, and then you don't have to touch them again. And your list is going to keep growing day in and day out. And that's what we want. Plus, don't forget, if you're here right at the beginning, I mentioned that free gift I'm going to give everyone who sticks around till the end, 50 ways to grow your email list today. So I'm going to share 3 of these strategies with you now, but you'll get this free PDF download at the end of today's workshop. and there's 47 more strategies waiting for you in there. So regardless of your niche, your industry, or what you sell, or what your freebie is, there are tons and tons of strategies in here that will work for you. So let's get into my top 3. Number 1 is Pinterest. Pinterest is so cool. I love it. I actually used to be a Pinterest manager. I didn't mention this, but way back in the day when I started my business, that's what I was doing. And the cool thing about Pinterest is that your content on Pinterest has such a longer shelf life than content on like Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, right? Because Pinterest is all based around sharing. So it's based around resharing other people's content, right? You repin it to your own different boards. And that's how your pins start getting more visibility, getting more reach, and getting more clicks. So what you can do is you can create some pins to promote your opt-in freebies. This is a really great example over on the left. This is from one of my students, Amanda. I thought this was a very meta example because her freebie is a viral pin guide, and we're talking about Pinterest. So she created this pin, she spread it out far and wide on Pinterest, and anyone who clicks on this is taken to the sign up page where they can get her freebie. Does that make sense? And I will just say too, if you're looking at this and you're like, wow, I really am not good at design. I don't know how to make these pins. I don't know how to make them look good. Go and buy some templates. That's what I do. I'm actually not very good at graphic design. It's not something that comes naturally to me. So you can go to like Creative Market. That's a really great website. Type in, Pinterest templates. You will see tons and tons of options. They're really affordable. So just buy a set of those and use them to make these pins. So that's strategy number 1. Number 2 is to create an Instagram stories highlight. Again, promoting your opt-in freebie. So you can see on the left, this is actually my Instagram account. And then the little arrow is pointing at one of my highlights called freebies. And the reason this works so well is because a lot of people who just stumble across you on Instagram will watch your highlights first. They kind of want to get a little like taste test of what you're all about and what your content's about and what your stories are about. So you're going to get a lot of eyes on these little Instagram highlights. So I have one called freebies, and when you click on it, it basically has some information about my 2 main freebies. So I have one for each of my 2 courses that I sell, right? Aligned, we talked about that earlier. And then another example is from my student, Sarah. She is a finance coach. So she has a little highlight, and it's just called, I think, free guide. So it's very straightforward. And when you click on that highlight on her Instagram, these are the 3 stories that you see. So it says, what are you waiting for? Financial freedom can only be gained through great budgeting. Finally, a budget you can stick to effortlessly with the stress-free guide to budgeting. She has a nice little mock-up of the freebie. And then in the last one, it just has a list of everything that's included. And then all 3 of these, as you can see at the bottom, say link in bio. So you could write link in bio, or you could write the actual link where people can go and download your freebie. So that's the second thing you can do. And the third is the website pop-up. And I know you might hear this and you might groan inwardly and be like, I don't want to do a website pop-up. I hate pop-ups. They're so annoying, right? Oh, I hate when I land on a website and like a million different things pop up. I totally get it. Totally get it, because I'm the same way. But A, they really do work. I was looking for some stats, and I was seeing everything from like a 3% conversion rate with your pop-up up to like a 10% conversion rate. And all that means, if you're not familiar with that term, is let's say like 100 people land on your website and see that pop-up. 10 of those people opt in for your freebie. That's a lot. That's a very, very high conversion rate. So if you have maybe 200 people landing on your website every day, that's like 20 new email subscribers just from this pop-up, not even from anything else, right? The second thing, so B, is that your pop-up doesn't have to be super obnoxious either. There's some ways we can make the pop-up work without being crazy, overly annoying. So what I do with mine is, first of all, I have it on a timer. So it does not pop up as soon as somebody lands on my website, because as we all will agree, that's super annoying. So I think I have it set for about 30 seconds. So 30 seconds after someone lands on my website, they're scrolling around, maybe they're reading a blog post, then the pop-up comes up. I also only have it on certain pages. So it's only on my home page, I think my about page, and my blog posts. So it's not on my contact page, it's not on my landing page, it's not on my sales pages. That doesn't really make sense. And then finally, if you want, you can kind of have some fun with it. If this works for you and your brand and your business, sometimes I like to have fun with what I write on the little pop-up box. So I think I had one before and it said something like, "Oh my God, another pop-up, so annoying, I know, but I have this amazing, free thing, whatever it was, that I just don't want you to miss." And then they could click the button and they can go and sign up. So that way it's kind of fun, right? Humor's actually been shown to boost conversion rates by a lot as well. I don't know the specific percentage. So if you can have fun with it and make it kind of funny, that can work really, really well. So that is the third thing, guys. So we have the website pop-up, making an Instagram stories highlight to promote your freebie, and using Pinterest. Now we will move on to our final email marketing secret, because once you have made your freebie, your list is growing, you've got that welcome series, now it's time to really sell, right? Now it's time to launch your courses to your email list, to your subscribers. So email marketing secret number 5 is that without scarcity and urgency, your course launches will probably flop. And you might be like, what the heck is scarcity? What is urgency? What are you talking about? Let me explain. So I'm going to tell a quick story. It's a lovely photo of me. To explain what these two concepts are, I'm going to tell you about my first ever course launch. And like I said earlier, I think this is back in 2016. This is a photo from my first brand photo shoot, if you want to call it that. I basically just dragged my boyfriend out to the beach or the park and was like, "Take photos of me. I need them for my new website." It's kind of grainy. I was super blonde back then. I thought it was kind of funny, so I wanted to include it. So I launched this course, right? It was called WordPress in a Weekend. And it was all about helping bloggers set up their WordPress website in 48 hours or less. And for some reason, I had it in my head that it would be so fun to launch this course on my birthday. So that's what I did. It was the end of June. I sent out an email to my list. I had spent weeks and weeks making this course. I was so excited, sent out the email, and then I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited, and nobody bought. Nobody bought the course on that day, on my birthday. Nobody bought the course the next day or the next day. Kind of flopped. Why did nobody buy? Because it's pretty simple. I didn't actually give my subscribers a compelling reason to act now. I basically just sent an email saying, "I made this fantastic course. Here's what it's about. Here's how to sign up." But there was no sense of urgency, right? There was no reason for them to sign up now. And if we don't give people that reason to act quickly, they will generally just wait. They'll look at it and maybe think, "Oh yeah, that course looks pretty good. Maybe a month from now, I don't know if I'm ready for it yet." Or maybe they'll bookmark the sales page and say, "Yeah, I'll come check it out later." And then they never do, right? And that's not what we want. We want people acting now. So let me explain scarcity and urgency, and then we'll talk about how to actually use these things in your course launches and when you're selling. So scarcity, this is basically another psychology concept. What we have found is that the more limited something is, some kind of resource, the more people value it. So the more they want it. So I'll give you an example. Let's say, actually, I was just doing this on the weekend. I need some new maternity clothes for the fall. So let's say you're online shopping for clothes and you find this sweater and you love this sweater. It's the best color, looks amazing. You really want it. So you add it to your cart. And then right when you do, this little message pops up and it says, "Only one left in your size." You're like, "Oh my goodness, I need this sweater," right? So you probably hurry up and you go and check out and you buy that sweater. That is scarcity in action, okay? Then we have kind of scarcity's twin sister or cousin or whatever you want to call it, urgency. And this is all about creating that limited sense of time. So scarcity is a limited amount of something, a limited number of something. Urgency is a limited amount of time. So basically, having deadlines encourages people to act quickly instead of just waiting. Okay, so we want to have deadlines when it comes to our courses, and we want to have scarcity as well. So let's look at how to actually put these two concepts into action with your course launches. And side note, this works for anything you want to sell, by the way. I am a course strategist. I think a lot of you guys are course creators. That's why we're talking about courses. But these are universal marketing principles that will work for any type of sales and marketing. So 5 ways you can ethically add these things into your launches to boost your sales. And I put the word ethically in there because I don't want you guys to think you have to just make this stuff up, right? You don't have to lie, to infuse that urgency and that scarcity. There's ways to do this that are completely genuine and completely authentic. So the first way you can do this is to have a limited number of spots inside your course or program. And a really great example of this over on the right is, let's say you are launching a small group program or a mastermind. You're going to have a limited number of spots, right? You might have 5 spots, 10 spots, whatever it is. So that's a great way to create that sense of scarcity. And again, that's going to encourage people to sign up now instead of waiting, because the spots might run out. And if they want to join, they don't want the spots to run out, right? They want to snag one. So that's the first thing you can do. The second thing is to offer a limited number of bonuses with your course. So a bonus is just some kind of like extra bonus gift that people get when they purchase. An example of this would be like a one-on-one call with you. Now you're only one person, right? So if you have 50 people join your course, which would be exciting and amazing and fantastic, you're not going to be able to do 50 one-on-one calls with these students, right? So instead, you might limit it to, let's say, the first 5 people who join the course get that bonus one-on-one call with you. So again, it's scarcity. It's also a little bit of urgency. People want to sign up quickly so that they can lock in that bonus. The third thing you can do, and I recommend this for every single course launch ever, is to have a cart close date. It's like fancy, terminology, whatever. All it means is that on a certain date at a certain time, enrollment for your course closes, right? So it could be like Thursday, September 10th at 2 p.m., closing her down, right? After that, you can't sign up anymore. And the reasoning behind why we do this is really so that you can focus on serving this new group of students that have just joined your course, okay? So we close down enrollment. We serve those new students for 6 weeks or 12 weeks, however long your program is. Once they have moved through the program, we're ready to open enrollment again. We do another launch, we welcome in a new class, and the cycle repeats. So that's the third thing. And then I put the last 2 just on the same slide here because they're very, very similar. But you can offer what's called a fast action bonus or disappearing bonuses. So a fast action bonus is something that's only available for a small window of time. So it could be like on a live webinar or workshop like this one. Maybe it's like 15 minutes. If people sign up in that 15-minute window, they get this extra bonus gift. Or you can do disappearing bonuses. And how this works, it's pretty similar, but you would start off with like what's called a stack of bonuses. So maybe 3 bonuses. If people join your course on the very first day enrollment opens, they get all 3 of those bonuses. Awesome. The next day, one of those bonuses is taken away, it disappears. And if people sign up on that day, they get 2 of those bonuses. The third day, you take another bonus away, people get 1, and then the 4th day, none, basically, right? And you can do that with however many bonuses you like. And the reasoning behind offering these kinds of bonuses and creating that sense of urgency is that you want to reward the action takers in your audience, right? You want to reward people who marked the date on their calendar when the course was opening. They were counting down the days, the minutes, and they signed up really quickly. So we want to reward those people for taking action, and that's why they get these special bonus gifts. Now, this is probably a great slide to screenshot that just popped in my head. So if you want to take a quick picture of this on your phone or, on your computer, please do that. I'm going to take a sip of water and we will move on. Okay. Now, just to wrap up that story of my first ever course launch that kind of flopped in those first few days, eventually I clued in and I was like, okay, people aren't buying because there's no reason for them to buy now, right? So what I did is I not only implemented a cart close date, so I said like a week from now on this day, this time, enrollment's closing. I also did a price bump, and that's another thing you can do. So I said the price right now, $97, that's the early bird price. In a couple days, that's going up to $147, so $50 price bump. If you want to get that special early bird price, sign up in the next 2 days. So I created that sense of urgency, and what do you know? People started signing up. It was very, very exciting. And I ended up having about a $1,000 launch, which was pretty cool, honestly, for my very first course launch. So that is how the story played out. Now, guys, I'm going to quickly recap what we went over today in these 5 email marketing secrets. First, we talked about how stressing over choosing an email list platform is really slowing the roll on your business growth. We don't want you to be a maximizer. We want you to be a satisficer. I want you guys to choose an email list platform and get set up with one today if you do not have your email list already. Secret 2 is that making a bunch of opt-in freebies is a waste of time. Do not do it. Don't fling freebie spaghetti at the wall, hoping something sticks or something's going to be popular. Create one really, really mega juicy freebie that's aligned with the thing that you're selling, with your paid course. Third, you do not have to wait to start selling to your new subscribers. You can create that tripwire product, and basically as soon as they join your list and get your freebie, they're presented with that limited time offer. Fourth, you can grow your email list on autopilot every single day, and you do not have to spend money on ads. You can do this completely organically for free. We talked about 3 different strategies, and then you're going to get that PDF later with 47 more strategies that you can implement. And the 5th secret, the last one we went over, is that without having that scarcity and that urgency, your course launches are probably going to flop. And I shared 5 different ways that you can infuse these things into your launches. So those are the 5 secrets we went over today, but I think the biggest thing I really want you to walk away with today is like the knowledge that this is your time. Okay, so you guys signed up, you're attending this workshop because you know that it's your time. It's your time to grow that profitable and engaged email list. It's also time for you to stop stressing out about email marketing. This does not have to be confusing or super overwhelming. And it's really your time to feel confident attracting, nurturing, and selling to your email subscribers with the guidance of a proven step-by-step system. So the tips that we went over today are 5 pieces of a larger puzzle. And this puzzle is something that I have shared with over 3,000 students inside my signature email marketing course. I mentioned it a few times throughout today's workshop, but it's called the hot list. So the hot list is basically like your step-by-step system for growing a profitable and an engaged email list for your online business. Now, some of my students, I mean, all my students have achieved fantastic results with the hot list. This is Julia. How cute is this photo with her dog? Oh. So Julia messaged me and said she used the sales page template that I include in this program to set up a sales page for her Instagram guide, and she made her first sale of it overnight. So super, super quick. And then another beautiful student, Leon, she doubled the size of her email list while she was taking the hot list. So I'll quickly share what's included inside the hot list if this is the right next step for you. So we have 7 modules with over 40 video lessons, tons and tons of downloadable resources. I think I counted right, but there's around 21 workbooks, templates, and swipe files. I also created little audio MP3s for those of you who like to listen and learn on the go, kind of like podcast style. So if you want to listen to these lessons while you're on the treadmill or out for a walk or driving in your car, you can do that with the MP3s. Plus, actually, let's take a look. This is just a little sneak peek at some of the resources inside. Like I said, there are tons. We have checklists. There's a launch calendar, launch email copy, a welcome series template. If you've been feeling like overwhelmed about what to write in your welcome series, you'll love this template. Subject line cheat sheets, newsletter prompts. There's actually 52 of these, 52 newsletter prompts. So if you're like, I don't know what to write in my newsletters, I get super like tongue-tied or keyboard-tied, you will have a newsletter prompt for every week of the year, right? 52 prompts. So inside the hot list, you will create an irresistible freebie to grow your list. You'll learn how to write a welcome series that primes your peeps to buy. You'll set up that tripwire product to start making passive income. You'll write some juicy newsletters that your subscribers can't wait to read. You'll set up systems to grow your email list every single day on autopilot. And more than that, you're going to learn how to sell. Okay, so you're going to learn how to boost your revenue with both launches and sales funnels. And we didn't dive into funnels that much today, really at all. It's a massive topic, but there's an entire module in the hot list all about email sales funnels. I'm not playing. We ain't playing here. This really is, it's a system, okay? It's step by step, it's A to Z. It is so important to me that I don't just give you one piece of the puzzle. So I didn't want to create a program where you just learned how to set up an email list or how to grow an email list or how to like nurture your subscribers. I wanted you to have everything in one integrated, holistic email marketing system, right? So you'll learn how to start the list, grow the list, nurture your subscribers, and how to sell, right? How to convert those people into buyers. So it's really an all-in-one program. Here's a quick overview of the modules. So module 1 is all about creating irresistible opt-in freebies and landing pages that convert. So I'm going to walk you through exactly how I create my landing pages. Mine generally convert at about like 70 to 80% or higher, which is very, very high for industry standards. So I'll walk you through how to do that, how to make your freebies. In module 2, you're going to write your welcome series. So I'll teach you how to write a psychology hacked welcome series that actually spurs sales. And you will get that welcome series template in addition to a swipe file. Module 3 is newsletters. So you're going to learn how to send binge-worthy newsletters that your subscribers are addicted to opening. And again, you get that PDF with 52 newsletter prompts. Module 4, a lot of people's favorite, is about the tripwire product. So in this module, you'll start generating rapid passive income with a no-brainer tripwire product. I will break down not only how to create the tripwire product or how to repurpose something you already have, but actually how to set up that page, right? So how to set up the sales page for the tripwire product, what to include on it. The wording is very, very important. We need to word it in a specific way. How to do the tech, how to add those timers, everything. Module 5 is list growth. So you'll learn how to grow your email list quickly, organically, tongue twister, AKA for free, and every single day on autopilot. So I'm going to share tons of strategies with you for both social media, for your website, how to promote your freebies on your website, for Pinterest. We cover it all. Module 6 is when we turn our attention to selling. So I will teach you how to execute your first wildly profitable course launch without the stress. So you're going to get launch calendars, you'll get launch swipe files. I will basically explain exactly what emails to send out to your list when you're launching a course, what to say in each one, and then you'll see some examples from my own business. And then finally, module 7 is the sales funnel. So you'll automate your revenue with a high converting email sales funnel. So on top of that, guys, we got the 7 modules, 40 videos, all the downloads, the MP3s. I have some really, really awesome bonuses included in the course as well. First is the list building tech vault. So if you're someone who's kind of hesitated to dive into email marketing because the tech is overwhelming for you, this bonus will be like your new best friend. Any single strategy that I teach in this course, I have made a tech tutorial for. So the really simple stuff and the really advanced stuff like setting up sales funnels, there's a tech tutorial for that. There are 11 of these step-by-step videos in total. That's the first bonus. Bonus 2 is my sales page template. It's called the Spellbinding Sales Page Template. And this is a breakdown of every single section that you want to write on your sales page with examples. So if you're selling an online course, if you're selling a large digital product, you can take this like plug and play sales page template and then write yours, honestly, probably within a single day. Most of my students do. And the third awesome bonus is the Ultimate Lead Magnet Builder. And this is for those of you like me who maybe are not great at graphic design. I kind of suck at it, I'm gonna be honest. So this is how you will create your freebies, okay? So lead magnet is a freebie, same thing, just two different words for the same thing. So in this bonus, you get access to 70 different templates. There's a ton. So if you want to make a freebie that's a checklist, a workbook, a planner, a tracker, anything like that, you can use these templates to create it really quickly and make sure it's super beautiful, looks really professional. You basically just plug in your content and your brand fonts and colors and you're good to go. And this is available in Photoshop and also in Canva. And Canva is just a really fantastic free design tool. So you don't need to like invest in Photoshop or anything to use these templates. So there's a quick overview again of everything that's included in the hot list. You get immediate access to all of this. You do not have to wait to access the modules or any of the bonuses. Total value is about $2,400. So what's the investment? For those of you who are like, yes, I'm ready to take this next step. Tell me how much this costs. Value, $2,400. Spoiler alert, does not cost that much to join. The regular retail price is $397 to join the hot list. But today, to celebrate this workshop and you guys being here with me live, I'm going to offer you a $100 discount on that amount. So you can join the hot list today for just one payment of $297, or if you want to start like earning while you're learning, you can choose the payment plan. It's 3 payments of $114.
And Krista, I think there's also a button live above the video right now that they can press to get that. And if you're watching this on the replay, there should also be a button in the email. So if those links aren't working, you can always go to the URL that Krista just gave us.
Awesome. Thank you, Cameron. Yeah, so click the button. Link is also on the screen here. And the coupon code, this is important. So to get that $100 discount, you want to enter the coupon code, grow my list. Just one word. You'll see the discount applied. It'll bump the price from $397 down to $297. Couple quick wins from my students. Who doesn't love seeing these wins? These are shared with me on Facebook. So the lady on the left, I kind of blocked out their names for like privacy, but she said, after 4 months of getting 0 engagement from my email list, I have now gotten 3 replies to my welcome series in just the last week alone. That's super cool. That's like the best feeling ever. I remember when I started getting replies, I was like, yes, the people like me. And then over on the right, someone again just started their list and she got up to 8 subscribers. She was freaking out. She's like, I didn't have anyone for so long and now people are joining. It feels so good. And the one on the bottom right is actually really tiny, but basically she emailed me and she's like, my list is growing. It's been 3 days since I started implementing everything. I've had 17 people join. I'm so pumped. And I hope this might be covered by my face, but it says action taker bonus. So like we talked about earlier, when it comes to urgency and fast action bonuses, very meta, I do have a special bonus for those of you who take action today on this live call on September 9th. So if you enroll in the hot list today on the live call, you will get this extra bonus gift. Oh, I just realized the picture's wrong and I have a really pretty picture of it. But anyways, it is called the Lucrative Affiliate Email Swipe File. So just ignore the photo. That's the free gift you guys are going to get later today. But I put together this affiliate email swipe file. And this is for those of you who want to join the hot list, but you're thinking in your head, you know, I want to get a good return on this investment and I don't have anything to sell to my email list yet, right? Maybe you don't have a course created, don't have any digital products yet. That's okay. What you can do is you can actually promote other people's products as an affiliate. So courses you've taken, digital products you've purchased, anything like that. I mean, you can become an affiliate for my courses if you want. That's totally cool too. So in this extra bonus, I'm sharing with you the exact emails that I sent out. There are 10 of them. It's like a 10 email series earlier this summer. and they resulted in $10,000 in affiliate revenue. And I was promoting a $100 product. It was a bundle. So I made $10,000 in revenue, not sales, but actual like cash revenue for that product with these emails. So again, if you don't have anything to sell of your own, you can use this swipe file, you can write those affiliate emails, and you can start earning right away. It's super, super easy to get signed up, guys. Again, you can go to that link or click the button. You want to scroll down on the page until you see this little section. This is where you can decide if you want the payment plan or you want to pay in full. And this does have those regular prices, but again, you're going to put in your coupon code and you're going to get that discount. So click on the button for whatever payment plan you want to join with. This is the checkout page. There's the coupon code. I've circled it on the left. So you just type in grow my list and that will give you that $100 discount. Then you will set up your account. So enter your name, your payment details, hit the button, and you're in. You'll be taken into your course portal. This is what it looks like. I think this guy's a video. So let's see if I can get, I can get this one to play. Okay. So this is what's waiting for you when you get inside. We've got all the modules, the bonuses, the tech vault down at the bottom here. So this is all of your tech tutorials. Everything is there and waiting for you to dive in.
And at that, Krista, we are actually, I think, at time for the webinar. I'm sorry, time really flies. I just looked down on my watch, but we actually have run out of time, and it's about to wrap up. So, is there anywhere that people can contact you for questions after this?
Yes, yeah, that's okay. I think I had 2 slides left, so we're okay. Any questions, guys, about the program, about email marketing? KristaDickson.com is my website. I think I even have, there's my Instagram. So if you guys want to come over and send me a message there or send me an email, that is totally cool. I would love to chat more about this with you. Sorry I went long. It's the breathiness, I think. Awesome.
All right. Now, I just wanted to thank everyone for joining us. If you could all just say thank you to Krista in the chat. And also, Krista, congratulations in advance. Really excited for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who attended today. I hope you guys got a ton out of this.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We'll see you all on the other side.